What's going on? My name's Garrett Seawright, and this is the Daily Huddle on the Saturday Glory Network. Just launched. Really looking forward to talking college football every day here on the podcast and on our YouTube channel. If you could subscribe, give us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you subscribe to, would certainly appreciate it. It definitely helps out the channel. Really looking forward to starting this new venture and having this new podcast. I am a massive college football fan like you. I assume you're listening to this because or watching this because you're a massive college football fan. There's so much stuff to talk about, not just on the field. And I think that's part of the fun for me and for you, is that it's not just the X's and O's lining up and going at it that makes college football fun, right? We love the pomp and circumstance, the pageantry, the everything that comes with college football. And that's what's going to make this fun for me and hopefully for you too. Is it's not just, we're not just going to talk about lining up and the teams that are going to make the college football playoff or anything like that. It's going to be a college football podcast. So we're going to talk NIL. We're going to talk recruiting. We're going to talk the business of college football. College football has been a business since Rutgers played Princeton in game number 1. It's just taken everybody about 135 years to get on board with that. So we're going to talk about everything in the college football world. Like I said, not just the 100 by 53 and a third yards. We're going to talk about recruiting, NIL. We're going to talk about coaches. We're going to talk about conference realignment, which continues to be this insane behemoth that's not going to go away. Now, when week 0 hits and we're ready to get going and Hawaii's playing Vanderbilt, and we'll be ready to go and talk about between the lines. But until then, and in the meantime, we're going to talk about everything related to college football. So I'm really looking forward to starting this podcast. And I know that it's cliche, especially in sports and in podcasts and in YouTube channels, but I really do. I want to build a community. I want to interact with you. I want to chat with you. I want to have this truthfully a community with you to talk about college football, because I'm not going to be just hey, here are the 12 teams who can make the college football playoff, and we're going to talk about only Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, USC. No. That's not, we're not doing that. I want to talk about everything with college football. And also, it's not just going to be me sitting here talking to you. I want to get your perspective. I want to get your opinions. We're going to chat with some of the biggest folks in college football. We're going to chat with the newsmakers. We're going to chat with the people covering the news. We're going to talk about everything when it comes to this fantastic, lovable sport. One of the things that I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to promise, and I guess promise, I'm going to promise, I'm going to try to you, is I'm going to do my best to not be unreasonable. And that's, being unreasonable makes college football fun, right? Is knowing that you are blinded by your fandom, blinded by your allegiances. I'm going to try my best to not do that, because I don't think, and I'm never going to say anything that I don't believe. One of the things I despise with podcast hosts, sports radio hosts, TV pundits, is they don't say what they think as much as they say, hey, here's what I think is going to be entertaining, or here's what's going to elicit the most negative reaction. I don't want to do that. I think you say what you think, you say what you feel, and you back it up. And if you disagree with me, that's awesome. Let's have that conversation. If you think I'm right, that's okay too. Everybody likes to be right, right? But I think that's one of the big things that I'm going to take away, and I want to impress upon you right now, is like, hey, listen, I'm not going to sit here and be unreasonable. And because we see those people on message boards or on Twitter or on Reddit that you read something and you don't know. Are you being serious right now? Do you really honestly truly believe that? Because if you do, we're going to have to get you checked out from your, local physician or something, because that's not something ain't right there. So I don't ever want to do that. I don't want you to think that I'm crazy or that I'm blinded by my allegiance to my fandom or anything like that. And I'm not going to be blinded in only look at things through rose colored glasses or things like that. College football, kind of by design, is unreasonable. For what, 125 years we picked a champion with a like really kind of stupid arbitrary way. Well, we don't do that anymore. And yet that culture still kind of exists, and that's fun to a certain degree, but I don't want to be unreasonable. So I'm going to try to not be unreasonable. Again, I want this to be an interactive. I want to hear from you. You can follow me on Twitter at Garrett Seawright, 2 R's, 2 T's. And let's chat back and forth. I want to read your comments on the air. I want to use your comments as a jumping off point for getting a pulse of the nation of whatever fan base you're a part of. That's going to be half the fun for this, is learning about the fan base at Wake Forest or Boston College or Washington State or Air Force, whoever it is. I want to know. I want to know what you're thinking, how you feel about whatever topic we're talking about. So that is where I see this going. I want you to be a part of it. So hop on board, get on the train now, get in early so we can build that relationship. We can build that community and get going from there. I'm really looking forward to chatting about college football. I am a huge college football fan and have been since I was a little kid. As a married man, my wife will allow me to, take one day out of the weekend to just be a slob and do whatever I want. And that includes Saturdays and watching college football. I love nothing more than it being like 1:30 in the morning and you're dozing off. But there you are watching Hawaii and San Jose State and still being entertained after watching an entire day of college football. There's so many. And one of the things that I love the most is I'm not going to try to run down the NFL during during these college football podcasts, but nearly every NFL game, every team runs the same offense. The game is going to end 27-24 because somebody scored too early with a minute 45 to go. The other team's going to march down the field, get in field goal range, kick the field goal, and that's it. Generally not how it works in college football. A lot of different offenses, a lot of different defenses, wacky, zany, ridiculous things happen, and we're going to chat about them all. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Thank you for making us a part of your podcast listening. And I know that there's a million podcasts out there. Believe me, I have been not everybody needs a podcast, but then you see kind of the void of like, hey, is anybody talking about Tulsa versus Rice? No. Is anybody talking about a lot of different things that there is room for that discussion? No, not especially. So let's talk about it. Let's have that conversation. And I hope that you're on board for the ride. So SaturdayGlory.com is the website. All sorts of college football content. So if you are a college football fan and you're always looking for all the content in one place, SaturdayGlory.com is where we're talking about. So hop on. Whether it's Alabama or there's a G5 story, if there's a story in the MAC, we're going to talk about it. If there's Conference USA, Sun Belt, it doesn't matter. We're going to chat about it on the Daily Huddle, and I hope you hop on for the ride. We're going to get rolling on Sunday through Thursday is going to be our schedule because you got stuff going on Friday. Sunday, we'll recap all the games. We'll preview the week to come, Monday through Thursday. We'll chat with the biggest folks in college football, and we'll have the conversations that nobody else is having. So I look forward to doing that with you. Again, like, subscribe, give us a 5-star review, however you can, in whatever podcast platform you listen to us on. If you want to watch the show and see my ugly mug, you can do it on Facebook and YouTube. If you'd rather just not stare at this, go ahead and download the podcast. But really looking forward to getting this kicked off. Really looking forward to interacting with you, chatting college football. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'll be unreasonable at times, but I promise I will try to not be unreasonable at times. And I hope you will as well. So that'll do it for this introductory episode. Really looking forward to getting started. And I hope you join us for the ride, because I want to build this community and have just a ton of fun talking college football, looking at college football, and kind of getting into the weeds in the best sport that there is. And I hope you'll do that with me.